Good morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home on this beautiful October day. We're here actually early in the morning with Shelly Hanes at Hane's Farm, and thanks for letting us on your property.
Oh, no problem.
This is kind of fun. So this is sort of the spot to be this time of year for families and just a lot of fun out and around the community. So, I mean, we should really talk about, when you think about farmland in and around Ontario, Southern Ontario, and some of the history. How many generations is this farm?
My husband is the sixth generation.
6 generations have been here. So started off as like a dairy farm and has progressed through to
That's right.
a whole lot of fun.
Yes.
And so you're involved. You're the wife, and you've been like totally hands-on and right in this this beautiful project. And we talk about the project because the corn maze behind us is kind of like a big focus. Now, if you have never seen this thing,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. This is, you got to tell me. I mean, this just looks. We're just looking at the entrance here right now, but tell me about the scale of this.
Okay, it's a 20-acre maze. It takes roughly anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half to go through, so it's not just an in and out thing. I give everyone a map. There's checkpoints inside to find, and there's codes that you have to write down on the map that I give you. And if you make it out, there's a decoding board over on the side there that helps you decode a secret message.
If you make it out.
Yes, if you make it out.
So do some people, just as they're going through, they just give up? What happens?
Sometimes, but a lot of times they are just so into finding things. It's more like a treasure hunt. Cool. It's a lot of fun.
That's right. So you're not just aimlessly walking around a maze. You've got lots of things to focus on, and so it just really becomes a fun thing to do.
Yes.
Now, do you find, so you're finding sometimes it's just couples coming, no kids at all.
No, that's right. That's right.
But you know, because obviously young little kids they need to have some supervision because it's not your average little corn maze.
No, it's not.
Okay, so that's really fun. So how does this process come? And now you have all the pictures from your past corn mazes. You've been doing, you said 13 years?
Yes.
Okay, all up on your website, so people can go and see the bird's eye view of what they look like. How much? What is the scale, the acreage?
It's 20 acres, this one.
Right.
But 13 years ago we started off with a 5-acre maze, so we've gradually gotten bigger.
Bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you plan? When do you start planning, and how do you plan it?
Well, I think about it all winter long, and some things take longer than others.
It's huge.
It is. It is. Sometimes, like now, I'm using things that are actually happening in our family. Last year it was my husband's 50th birthday.
He loved that.
I'm not going to give away this year's maze, but it's something that's happened in our family, which was a big event and fun. And
what else have you done in the past then?
Okay, we've done the world. We did the provinces. Seasons we've done.
That's cool. Like, that's fun, right? So you can kind of think now, and then you do it on a small scale.
Yes.
So you kind of draw it out.
Yes.
And then how does it become, who gets to cut this all?
Okay, well, my husband and I, and my sister helps a lot too.
Wow.
And it's all laid out on paper, and we count rows and measure, and which I was never good in math, but it's a lot of math.
It would be. It would be.
And then we ride the riding lawnmower through. So
unbelievable. That's a lot of work, and when people are looking at it, they're realizing this is just a ton of work.
Yeah.
But you know, people get such a kick out of it.
Oh yeah.
When do you open for the season then?
Usually late August. Okay. And we go to the 31st of October.
Cool. So people still have time to come.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And we'll go into November too if it's still nice.
If it's still nice out, right? And then we were talking about that, how the weather can just be such a shift this time of year. You never know what you're going to get, right? So besides the maze, which is obviously a huge focus for people, kids can come. There's that. You have the whole pumpkin patch as well.
Yes. We have a pick your own pumpkin patch. Yep. It's $5 any size. Kids have a ball out there. We have wagons, and they pull their children out and bring the pumpkins back.
And that's that's the thing when we talk about getting your family together. These are the things that kids remember, and we all remember and value these memories as we get older. Of and people will remember and bring next generations to your farm, right?
Absolutely.
And I remember I was a kid and I brought them here, that type of thing. So coming and being able to pick your own pumpkin is fun. And we should start. You do birthday parties here too.
Yes, we do. We have an old barn that we fixed up, and it has tables and benches, and people can bring their own food and drinks and cake and that type of thing in. It's a large fenced-in area. There's a play area. There's a mini corn maze, and then there's animals in the barn to come and check out as well.
So actual like a little real animals
like
they can touch them.
Yeah.
Oh, cute. Because you guys have cows and
we have cows and chickens, laying hens. We actually sell eggs here as well. Yeah, all kinds of little animals.
And you know what that's great for birthday parties too is because a lot of times parents are restricted nowadays to what they can bring, or they're not allowed to bring anything.
No, that's right.
Right?
That's
so
right.
by being able to bring your own food and have your own party, but using your facilities, that actually is a really nice thing for parents to hear. It's rare these days.
Yes,
right?
yes. And
really
it's a lot of fun for everyone too.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the bakery. So people coming down Highway 5, so we're in kind of the Flamborough area right now. Highway 5, they see that nice cute little red building at the end of your driveway, and this is your fabulous bakery.
Yes, my mother-in-law started about 30 years ago baking homemade pies and tarts. My husband used to pick his own sweet corn when he was about 12 years old, so he actually started a little like picnic table type of thing, and then it evolved into the bakery, and I had gone through in my teenage years as a baker, so it kind of just, you know, all went together.
So you've been part of this family for a long time.
Yeah. It'll be our 25th anniversary this year.
Whoa,
so.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So what else can you see at the bakery? Baked goods wise.
Well, we have pies and tarts. Everything's homemade from scratch, which is a little bit unusual from what we have around the areas and what people do nowadays.
Right.
But it'd be just like how you would make it at home yourself. So
that gives you that nice home feel, right? So,
absolutely.
And it's so nice, right? Because again, as a family coming by here and be able to just pick up some, especially in the fall, people sort of have that, they like to relate, right, you know, to whether it's Thanksgiving or even, you know, going up towards Halloween, people love to just pick up some nice treats to have around the house. And I don't know, I all of a sudden pick up I'm also really into baked goods once we hit the fall.
Yes, I know.
It's just one of those things, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so people coming this way, give them sort of direction of where you are here then.
Okay, we have Flamborough Downs right beside us.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how I use as a good sort of a map for me.
Exactly. Yeah. And directly across from Christie's Conservation.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's easy.
And we're 1001 Highway 5. So.
Okay. So hours here at the farm for people to come by, whether they're going to be as a couple or a family doing this.
Yeah.
Got to give yourself lots of time.
Yes. In October, we're open 10 in the morning till 9 at night.
Wow. Every day?
Yes, every day in October.
Really?
We do groups of scouts and air cadets and any kind of youth groups and things like that come in as well through the night.
Oh, that's cool.
They bring flashlights.
So that's the thing. Okay, so you can do the night one with flashlights in here. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I'm like, I would already be lost in the day, never mind at night. But this is so cool. I love it.
It's a lot of fun.
Do you have schools come as well?
Yes, I do. I do have groups of schools as well.
Oh, that's really fun. So again, it's the Hanes family. We're here in the Flamborough area. So much fun to do, especially this time of year. And we encourage people to kind of keep that family tradition up and to come by and see you guys. And we really appreciate you letting us in here today. And I'm definitely going to bring my little guy.
Yes.
So that we can come. Now, a website as well, because we want people to be able to see your maize. So what is your website?
It's www.hanescornmaize.com.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Very good. Well, thank you so much again. And again, this is TERRA at Home here. It's the middle of fall, and there's still time to come here and be part of this family fun tradition. So thanks to both of you guys, and we'll be back with more TERRA at Home after this.
Thank you.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home, and we have found a new little coffee shop in downtown Burlington called Tamp Coffee Co. And I'm here with the owner and, of course, your wife. This is Jimmy, and we'll maybe see your wife a little bit later on coming through. But let's talk a little bit about the concept behind this. This is just a one-off, great little coffee shop that people can go to.
Yes, this is an independent coffee shop, and we are concentrating on the quality to the cup. We work with very closely with our roasters, Social Coffee and Tea here in Richmond Hill.
Okay.
So we get our beans roasted for us. We have our own profile here that we've created to use in our espresso machine.
Okay.
And besides from that, we also feature something called hand poured over. Typically right now what we're using for this is a single origin Ethiopian beans, and everything gets brewed on demand from start to finish, controlled by the barista.
So that's the one thing. So when someone's going into a shop and they're getting a coffee, some people just get brewed coffees, and some people get an espresso shot type coffee, right? So with the hand brewed, you can actually bring that back, and you can show me how it's made, right?
Yeah,
so
sure.
with the hand brewed coffee, how is that process different from, say, a pot of coffee that's been brewed for you?
Okay, essentially it is the hand poured coffee. It is a drip machine, except it's handled by the barista from start to finish. So everything is fresh. We control the grind, we control the filtration system, as well as the pressure that we putting the water in at a certain time.
Okay.
So therefore it is fresher because it's not sitting here for any longer than 2 minutes and a half.
The process is done
it's
right
made
before your
right
eyes.
there.
Yeah.
So it's fresh, it's tasty, it's really good.
And you were letting me smell the ground coffee when you first did. You ground the beans,
right?
And that smell is wow. It's round, it's sweet. It just has a beautiful, smell to it before it's even brewed.
Exactly.
Right.
This particular coffee, it is single origin, like I've said, Ethiopian, natural processed. So it does have a lot of lemon peel, a lot of blueberry notes. It's quite nice.
And that's the great thing about coffee is people forget that there are so many different types of coffee beans and the flavors that it gives you, right? And the smells and you're getting just from one coffee bean you can get so many different notes. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, looking up, on your board, the concept behind of your coffee obviously is great coffee beans to start with, and great coffee is going to make a great cup for everybody. But I'm looking up at your board, and obviously, you have your cappuccinos and Americano. For somebody who, what's an Americano?
Americano is usually what we do is we dispense amount of water at 165 Fahrenheit in a cup, and then we pour the espresso shots directly over the top of it.
Okay.
So it looks really nice and it tastes amazing.
Because a lot of people get that drink, but I hear of it, but I've never actually had one before. I'm always getting the cappuccinos or the mochas.
Cappuccinos are nice.
Yeah,
very balanced.
That's right. And so speaking of a cappuccino and the flavoring that you're going to get, sometimes when someone has a bad coffee, sometimes you're getting almost the burnt or bitter type. Why is that happening?
It's all has to do with the roast. If it's roasted correctly, as well as brewed correctly by the barista, you shouldn't get that. If it's burnt, that means the water temperature is too hot. If it's too acidity, the water temperature is too low. If it sits brewed for a long period of time, also that affects the taste.
And even how you steam your milk as well, right?
That's very important.
The temperature of the milk.
That is very important. We also do that to about 170 to 175, no more, to bring out all the sweetness in the milk naturally. So you don't have to add sugar to your cappuccino. And I will demonstrate that in a bit for you.
Right, and that's the thing I have noticed that, so some people really like that piping hot cappuccino, but if you got to watch that you don't take the milk over that edge, right?
Leslie.
Past the sweetness, and then you're not going to get that. So you probably have people going, I want it extra hot. But
it's just a fine line what you can do.
Yeah, I bet. So flat white, what's a flat white?
So flat white, it's a New Zealand, Australian-based drink. We serve it in the house glasses, clear like so. It's 1:1 espresso to milk ratio. And it's very flat. The way we stretch the milk, there's not a lot of foam to it. It's more plain. Okay. But it's very tasty.
That's neat. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to know. So you got some sort of the basics of what. Why don't you make me one of your famous? You're gonna make a cappuccino. Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
So we'll start with the cappuccino.
And obviously you have a beautiful machine there too. Now these are.
Now this is the Le Marzocco Strata EP. There's not many of them around, but they're pretty good. And as you noticed here, we grind directly on demand right into the basket of the espresso machine filter.
This is where your name came from, right? Tamping?
Yeah, tamp, exactly. So I'm using the tamper right now, and you want to be as level as possible, applying 30 pounds of pressure. That's very important too.
That's the thing people don't realize, what a science there is behind all of this, right? And everything matters to get you that nice cup at the end.
I'm
Yeah,
just
that's a
gonna
beautiful
step
machine.
away here. Thank you.
Gorgeous. So again, the art, of course, of steaming the milk and making sure that it's steamed to the sweetness. I'm actually surprised how quiet your machine is, though, too.
Yeah, this machine features 3 different pumps, 1 rotary external pump and 2 gear pumps on the inside. It's really cool machine.
It's beautiful.
And this is about the right temperature where you want your milk.
And that's the thing. It's all about being, you know, patient for that cup of coffee because it makes a difference, right?
For sure.
No drive-throughs here. So you guys try to sometimes do a little pretty pattern on them?
Yeah, so what I like to do with my cappuccino, I like to pour a little bit of milk and just kind of mix it around. That helps with the taste.
Well, you can even see with the color right now, too. What a beautiful color, right? Very cute. See, look at that. Isn't that sweet? I love that. That is beautiful. And again, it smells.
And that's a cappuccino. Tell me what you think.
Lovely. Okay, I will try it. Absolutely. Wow.
Tasty.
It's wonderful. No sugar necessary. And I usually have some element of sugar in my coffee. If it's not as good as this, then I'd have to put sugar in it. That is great. Absolutely. Now, to accompany this, of course, we should talk about the baked goods side of things as well. You guys freshly bake everything every day.
We bake everything in the house every day. We have a small oven that allows us to bake smaller little muffins here and there throughout the day, just to have everything fresh. We also just introduced some gluten-free stuff because some of the clients have been asking about that.
Oh, yes.
We have some gluten-free stuff as well as proteins bars that we're making in the house too.
Very good. And last thing, you're getting something for everybody, right? Some people love that ultimate sweet. Yeah. You know, sweet, sweet, sweet. And then again, as you say, now we're realizing the demographic, even people who don't need gluten-free products are going for it.
Exactly.
And then having the protein bars.
As well as our drinks, we also feature 2 soys available. Okay. 1% is available. Almond milk.
Oh, very good.
Alternative to
that's great.
just milk.
Now,
some people just can't. We recommend 2% all the time.
That's what you normally use.
And that's what I use for your drink.
Okay, very good. All right, so again, just recently opened. It'll be a few months now at this point with the show airing, and you know, it's a great little spot right downtown Burlington. You're right on Pine Street. And again,
a beautiful Village Square.
Yeah, part of Village Square, exactly, on the exterior. People can come in and you have Wi-Fi, you can hang out and have a coffee and have a good time. Cool. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and I'll definitely be back.
Thanks, Liz.
Cheers to everyone. We'll be back with more TERRA at Home.
Come and explore the new Terra, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning, welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're now in the kitchen. We're back with Chef Rachel, and you're making something rather nutritious and high protein today for us.
Yes, something a little different. We're going to do some seared tuna steaks. So these are just steaks from the loin, and basically what we're going to do is put a little coating on them and sear them so they're nice and cooked on the outside, but still rare on the inside. Okay. And with that, we'll do a lemon caper aioli and some sautéed vegetables.
Now that's the thing, when a lot of times when you see a tuna like this, it's for people, they're really kind of iffy about sushi, but with this, I mean, it is still raw on the inside, right, with this type of grade, but you're just making sure it's relatively cooked. Now, are you getting the temperature up in the center, or is it still cool when you sear it?
It'll still be a bit cool in the center.
Still a bit cool.
Yeah,
okay.
but the the outside will all be cooked through.
Yeah, you
get
can
rid of any
for
of
some
that
reason you can
bacteria.
somehow manage to get people to entertain this. Even people who don't eat sushi will go here. They'll try this, right? Because it seems like it's a little bit more cooked.
Yes, and you can cook it a little bit more if you like.
Sure, yeah, exactly. Just
and with the sauce on top, I think it makes a nice pairing, and again, a little easier to eat.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
so give it a try.
Approachable. Okay.
So
what's first?
We'll start off with the veggies. I just have some baby bok choy here.
Love those. These are so good for you too.
Yeah, it's really nice just to saute up. So I have a little bit of oil in my pan, and this is kind of the bunch that it comes in. So that's 2 bunches there. We'll cut another bunch. These get quite dirty, so you want to wash them, which I've already done.
Okay.
And then I usually just cut the end off and pull it apart, and that's when you'll find any other dirt that's in there. So we'll get that ready, and just a little bit of sliced green onion, and I'm going to julienne some white onion, and that'll be our vegetable mixture. We can add some fresh parsley after, or any other herb that you have.
I like how you cut the green onion as well.
Yeah, on a big bias, it makes it look
it's nice
a little fancier.
Yeah, it does actually.
Yeah. So we'll start by sauteing the onion. So I may have showed you this trick before, but we'll just do it again. So this is my
yes, I try to remember
julienne.
that. I was thinking about you one day in my kitchen as I'm cutting my onion.
Take
remember
a little
how
bit
she
of
did this.
There's a couple onion tricks, but this is the julienne. So you just get a nice thin, even cut.
Okay.
So we'll do about half of the onion, and we'll start with that in the pan to get going. The green onion, that's something that can be put in kind of at the last minute with the parsley, because it doesn't really need a lot of time to cook. But we want to make sure that the white onion is cooked a little bit, so it's not too
strong, right?
Too strong and crunchy.
Okay.
Okay, so if you don't mind, I'll just get rid of this over here.
I think one good thing about tuna as well is, I mean, we're talking about how high protein it is. You know, you can obviously use other types of fish. Some people are leery about how much tuna consumption they have, just because they are such large fish.
Yeah.
But I mean, with a recipe like this, you can switch over to other whitefish or salmon or whatever, and that way you can kind of mix things up a little bit and not have too much tuna. But obviously, it's very, very low in fat and very, very high in protein. So it's very good for you.
Perfect. Okay, so these are just sauteed a little bit, and then we can put the bok choy in. Now this really doesn't take a long time, but I thought if we just get that started, a little bit of
like
salt and
spinach,
pepper.
right? You put a lot in there, and it just sort of starts to wilt down, and you don't need to cook it too much.
I try to keep an eye on it because I don't like it to wilt down too much for the presentation. You want to kind of keep it shape a little bit.
Exactly. It starts to kind of look a little not as appetizing when it gets to this mushy stage.
Right. Yeah. So
But yeah,
we'll try
that's
to
really, really great.
just keep an eye on it, and we won't let it cook down too much. But I'll turn this other burner on here, and we can switch it over.
Okay.
And then we can start with the tuna. So I'll just keep that on low. We'll try to keep an eye on it.
Okay.
Okay. Now for the tuna. You can put any kind of rub that you like. You can add a whole bunch of spices. I'm going to keep it simple today, and just some sesame seeds, and a little bit of salt and pepper.
Okay. So you're not even putting anything on, no oil or anything on the fish itself?
I'm not going to put, because we're going to sear it in the pan.
Yeah.
So, so we'll have oil in the pan. I'm going to mix the pepper in with the sesame seeds. Sometimes I do a pepper crusted, so it's just pepper.
Ah,
But I'm
okay.
just
Yes, okay. I've seen that
adding
before.
a little bit of seeds today.
Yeah, I like that idea, though.
Season. We do want to put a little bit of salt on.
Okay.
Just add a little bit of flavor there. So I'll season both sides, and then we'll press it in the mixture. And then basically all we're doing, like I said, is searing the outside. It really doesn't take long, probably 30 seconds to a minute per side, depending on how thick they are. These aren't too thick.
So you have a pretty high temperature on the pan then?
Yeah, so you want it to be, medium to high.
Okay.
Okay, so let's flip these over and salt the other side. And yeah, so if you like it rare, then it's
then
also
you're
a
not
great
putting it in
dish.
there for much long, very long at all.
Right. Yeah. But it makes a quick healthy weeknight dinner. Okay, let's move that to the side for now. Okay. So I think the pan, you want to make sure the pan's really hot to get that.
Now, what oil did
searing
you use?
effect.
Did you use just a regular?
Just a regular olive oil.
Okay. All right. Because I guess you could use a little bit of sesame oil to add flavor too if you wanted, right?
Yeah, that would be nice. Sesame oil is oh, I love it. The smell of it when it gets cooking.
I always use it for stir fries because it just changes the whole level of the flavor profile. But okay, adds to the sesame as we're already toasting up here.
Okay, mix our bok choy a bit there.
Very good.
Okay, so I think this pan's quite hot.
Okay.
So we'll start with this. Actually, you know what? Just for fun, I'm just gonna add a little bit more pepper.
You're gonna make me sneeze.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to hear that sear?
Okay. And you actually have a dressing that you're going to be making as well. That adds, as you were talking about the sauce, it just kind of gives it another component. Especially if you're you're slightly challenged by tuna, then you could hide it.
Right. So it's a really easy sauce. Just a little bit of mayonnaise if you have that in your fridge, or if you're feeling like you want to make up your own. Some lemon juice and capers.
Perfect.
So
easy.
Yeah, it's really easy. It's really good, and it pairs really nice with this. So we can put that together.
To me. Okay, well, what we'll do is we'll continue to cook this up, and we'll make this the sauce, and we'll put it all together when we come back. We'll be right back in just a few.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
AM 900 CHML is giving you more news when you want it most. Non-stop news weekday mornings 5 till 9, weekday afternoons 3 to 6, with weather and traffic on the 9s. Hear about it first from AM 900 CHML, Hamilton's news talk leader.
Welcome back to Terra at Home. We are completing our seared tuna loins, and smells good, looks good, cooked very quickly. Just because you are searing it only.
Yeah.
Right? They look good.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's we've already done in the pan as well? Sautéed.
Yeah, sautéed the white onion, the bok choy, and then I just added in some green onion and parsley at the end there, and mixed it all together. So that's ready for the plate.
Okay.
And so the last thing we have to do now is make our lemon caper aioli. So just, you know, a couple tablespoons of capers, and I actually just chop them up fine, and we'll put that in there, and some lemon juice, so you can add some lemon zest if you like. You don't want to put too much juice in because it'll thin it out, but yeah, it's just as easy as that.
That's
a nice
great,
sauce.
right?
It's the sauce that I use for my tuna when I make it. I think it's a nice pairing, so it's really easy. I'm ready to
What an easy, straightforward meal though, right? And you know, obviously if you wanted to add some carbohydrates to this meal, you know, you could put some brown rice with it, and that actually makes a really nice, well-balanced meal, very good for you. And some people are trying to stay low on the carbs, you could just go for this. And this is actually really, or just a nice light lunch. So
yeah, you know, this year tuna sliced up would go really nice on top of a salad too.
Sure it would, oh yeah. Absolutely.
So basically, when it's done like this, we just cut it into slices, and you can see that the inside
looks great.
Is not quite as cooked as the outside.
So you like to slice it up like that. That's great. Well, while you're prepping this, I just want to remind everybody, of course, you can find all of Chef Rachel's recipes on our website at terragreenhouses.com. And again, just a quick reminder, if you've sort of a recap on this one or any of the other recipes that we've cooked along the way, it's just always nice to have something. If you need to think of a quick meal, then you can go onto our website. And this is, again, nice, healthy, getting your greens, and it's good for you too. And of course, you can catch us every Saturday morning at 5:30. And I'm going to let you finish this up so we can see how pretty it looks just before we wrap up the show.
Yeah, so just a couple slices
Love it.
of tuna on top.
Beautiful. And then where would you put this?
And then I just dab this on top.
Beautiful. How beautiful. Beautiful prep. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chef Rachel. That's it for Terra at Home. We'll see you again next Saturday.